All right, YouTube, you know I had to touch on this, but before I do this, you know what sucks? 3 hours ago, maybe 4 hours ago, I made the same video I'm about to make now. Look at this. No sound. Ah, sucks. So here we are again. Mike Tyson coming back to the pros. This is going to happen. People seen him on my top left. You can see him yourself if you haven't seen him yet. Working the pads, working the body. That's right. Top left corner, Mike Tyson, 53 years old, doing that pad work. On the top right, above my head, you can see him young, doing the same pad work. Now you can compare the two. How does he look? Does he look like he missed a step? Does he look the same speed? I don't know. You be the judge. Does he look just as strong? Below me, unfortunately, for Mike Tyson, these are his losses. And to the bottom left, you'll see his knockouts. What he was known for, that power. The power that Deontay Wilder said that he had more than. Dairy Queen. Anyways, so this is what I'm talking about, guys, about clickbait. A lot of these people have been putting out videos and it's pure clickbait. So Mike Tyson goes in and he talks about the pad work that he did. What he says is he's training for an exhibition. He wants 2 to 3 and he wants it for charity to go towards people getting over drugs, being ex-drug addicts. He wants to help homeless people out and etc. So that's first and foremost. He was talking about doing exhibitions. Secondly, he was talking about he did about an hour on the pads. And the very next day after he did the pad work, it felt like 5 men had beat on his body. He was in pain from it. And that's the thing that I'm going to get into. Mike Tyson is 53 years old. Before I even get into that, let me state this as a disclaimer. Mike Tyson, by far, is my favorite heavyweight boxer of all times. I believe Mike Tyson would have beat anybody at the heavyweight division with Costamata. I believe that Mike Tyson with Costamata was just unstoppable. I don't think anybody could have done it. Now, I will say that people like to argue that Muhammad Ali could have beat Mike Tyson, but I don't believe he could because I've made this debate before. Mike Tyson, Joe Frazier, very similar. And in my opinion, Joe Frazier gave Ali the hardest fights of his career. He beat him the first time, lost in 2 more to decision. No matter what, both men went to the hospitals after the fight. So how I look at Joe Frazier is smaller, weaker, slower, and doesn't hit as hard. The only advantage I give Joe Frazier is a chin. And really, truthfully, I don't even know if he has more of a chin than Mike Tyson because people talk about Mike Tyson, but people forget when Mike Tyson lost in his first fight to Buster Douglas, right? He actually knocked Buster Douglas down. That's where that famous 15-second knockdown comes from. And before he knocked Buster Douglas down, he was getting beat. He was getting beat bad. He was walking in jabs all night. He looked slow. He looked sluggish. He looked bad. But he kept fighting. He took all that damage and still managed to put Douglas down on the ground. Now, I believe it was a long count. I believe he should have knocked Buster Douglas out. But hey, that's hearsay. That's what I believe. My opinion doesn't matter. The official record states that he lost by knockout. Later in that fight, when Tyson got knocked down by Douglas, I felt like it was a fast count. On the flip side, mango tastes so good. So good. But I felt like it was a fast count. Now, when Tyson went down, he didn't give up. You know, he had been taking a beating for the whole fight. And when he hit the ground, he was looking for his mouthpiece, put his mouthpiece back in his mouth, and he tried to get up, and the referee waved it off. When he lost to Holyfield, Lennox Lewis, you go deeper. Really was that the same Tyson? I don't know, because in Tyson's last fight, which is something else I want to bring up, he quit. He didn't even finish the fight. He pretty much said that I don't want to do this anymore. Fans are wasting the money paying for it. I just don't have the desire to box anymore. It's not there. And to me, it almost feels like a lot of that fire that Tyson had was gone. And I don't know when he lost that fire, that desire. I don't know if it happened after prison, after the Douglas loss. I don't know exactly when he lost that fire. I don't know if it was the fact that Costamata kept a collar around his neck or a leash around his neck and kept Tyson from doing all the wild stuff that he was doing under Don King. that kept him in line and control and stayed in practice like he should? I don't know. But clearly, Mike Tyson's one of them guys. The only guy that could beat Mike Tyson was himself. And really, to me, that's why he really lost. Regardless of what Teddy Atlas will say about Mike Tyson, incredible what cost him out. Now, on the flip side, 53 years old. I've said this before. The older you get medically, the longer it takes your body to heal. It takes you much longer to recuperate, rejuvenate, however you want to say it. The older you get, the longer it takes for your cells to repair. Your cell replication has also lost a lot of data by then. We won't get into all that biology, but the best analogy that I can give right now is, I believe it was Leonardo da Vinci. He did the whole human anatomy and broke it down like a machine, right? So if you want to use the human body as a machine, let's go to cars. Let's say you got you a 1960 muscle car, American muscle, the prime of the American car, the highest, the peak, the pinnacle of the American cars, right? 60s, beautiful cars. Hear that engine. Woo! Oh, sexy. That's right. But this car that you have from the 60s is original. It hasn't been garage kept. It's been an everyday driver. It's been drove like it's supposed to be, right? You've had this every day. Now, it's still got all them ponies underneath the hood. A lot of ponies. But then you put it up against a Camaro of today, right? Now, here's the issue. You can redline. You can push that engine on the 60s to the limit, but 9 times out of 10, you're going to blow the engine. You're going to bend a rod, etc. That Camaro, you could push it a lot harder. Why? Because it's brand new, no wear and tear. The body's the same way. When you get wear and tear, after so long, the body just doesn't heal like it should. So my point to this is this. Like Tyson said, just working on the pads like you see in the top left, he felt like 5 men had beat his whole entire body the next day. His body was not healing as quick as somebody young would do. How does that translate to a fight? Translates like this. Tyson could be very successful boxing as long as he retained his power. His speed looks decent, but even Tyson himself said in his interview that, anybody can look good hitting pads, anybody can look good hitting the bag, but what happens when you got somebody throwing punches back? That's when you see if they really look good, which Tyson mentioned, and nobody's bringing this up. So the thing about it is Tyson could do really good as long as he could time and not get hit. However, if he gets hit, it would probably be another Bernard Hopkins situation where he's in his 50s, he gets clipped, he's going down because the body's not going to be able to take the damage. It's nothing to do with the fact that he couldn't hurt somebody, because he could. And believe me, Tyson at 53 years old would probably beat the living hell out of the average 20-year-old, 30-year-old. Would destroy them. Because you can see how his muscle memory is still there. You can still see how fluid he is with his movements. You can still see he's got power, even speed. But the problem is in boxing, when he goes up there against an elite, because I know a lot of people want to see him fight Deontay Wilder because Deontay Wilder said he could beat him. I don't know if Tyson could beat Deontay Wilder. Because the million-dollar question is, if Tyson, being so much shorter, gets hit coming in, can his body, not can his heart or his soul or his mind take it, but can his body take the damage of that punch? And if it cannot, then there's nothing he can do but go down. I would not want to see Tyson get back in there because I don't want to see him get hurt at 53 years old. Exhibitions are good. Normally those are going to be 16-ounce gloves, headgear, just like sparring. So, it's interesting to see what he's going to do. Out of his own mouth, he's not trying to go pro. He's just trying to do exhibitions. I tried to get this out early in the morning. It was like at least 4 hours ago, maybe longer, when I made that video that it showed with no sound. That's the most irritating thing about making these videos. It's not the first time that's happened that my mic's gone out. It sucks because you do a 10, 15, 20-minute video and then there's no sound and you have to do it over. Trash, garbage, especially whenever you don't have video editing software like myself, but that's okay. So at this time, If you like what you just listened to, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. And if you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. And if you're confused on what to do, Tony, I don't know if I should give you a thumbs up. Maybe I should give you a thumbs down. I kind of liked it, but I kind of didn't. Then go ahead and sub to the channel until you can figure out what you want to do. Thank y'all again for watching. And Dairy Queen, mango pineapple smoothies are great.